Good day. So the question is, what are three ways that your mitochondria could lead to greater longevity? I'm David.
And I'm Jerry.
Dr. Pima, that's an interesting question, something that you directly work on. What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot to it. I know that there are people who don't know anything about mitochondria, so we might want to address that for those who are wondering what kind of, as my grandfather would say, that's a 50-cent word. That was a lot of money when he was young, so it meant a lot to him. But mitochondria is a material that is an ever-living cell in the human body. We actually have more mitochondria in our human bodies than we have cells in our bodies. By that, I will explain. Basically, about a minimum that we have of mitochondria in any given cell is about 500 per cell. Now, if you're going to look in the brain, neurons in the brain, you're going to find that we have approaching or exceeding per neuron 10,000 mitochondria working their little hearts out, giving us the energy we need to think clearly, to have enough energy to perform all the things in the brain that needs to be done in order to keep this complex machine going. Now, we don't always have all the mitochondria we need. We had most of it when we were 28. That's when we had the most. And it's downhill from there because our food supply is pretty depleted of high quality nutrients. And we tend to abuse that in which we live, that would be our bodies, and with excessive alcohol, smoking, staying up all hours of the night, having jobs that we hate, maybe a spouse that we're not compatible with, etc., any kind of stress. We eat food that's not food. It looks like food, but it's fake. With that, I will share you one thing. I was going through a supermarket one day, and you talk about doing a number on mitochondria. Listen to this. This lady flags me down on a Saturday afternoon to try some strawberry power bars. Oh, they're all organic and they're wonderful. Okay, well, I said, thank you. She said, here, try one. I said, well, I don't try anything unless I read the list of what's in it, ingredients. And so she had already opened the bag and had it on a little tray, and so I didn't see it. And I said, can I see the box? Oh, that's my display. And I said, ma'am, were you trying to sell this or what? I said, let me see the box. Okay. So she gives me the box and I read it. And I read it again. And I literally am trying to find strawberry power bars. The word strawberry was nowhere in the list of ingredients. Nowhere. Oh, there was natural flavors. And it was all organics, including, I'm thinking, those chemicals that I couldn't even pronounce. And I kind of do this for a living, so most of my, if they have to do with naturopathic or natural, I kind of get the idea. But I could have started a chemistry set with this. I'm looking at it and find, she said, see, I told you, it was all organic and it's just the best you can get. She said, now how many do you want? I said, oh, ma'am, I forgot. I'm allergic to strawberries. Okay, so I lied to her, but the poor woman is doing the best she could, and I couldn't explain to her why this is just ridiculous. So I let it go at that. But that's an example of what's out there. And most of this material I couldn't pronounce would have done some possibly damage to my mitochondria. You have fake food that has all kinds of chemicals, and that could do a lot of things to your mitochondria. We have no idea what it's going to do to us. We do know that in the last 30 years, the ability for our young men in this country to reproduce has dropped 50%. The sperm count's down 50% in the last 30 years.
Wow.
They can't, it takes years to have a child. That's crazy. Well, that's what's happening in our environment. And the result of that most likely is damaged mitochondria in the actual sperm cells themselves. They're not alive as much as they were. Oh Lord, here we are. We're on a downhill slide to oblivion. What happens when it's 80% or 90%? Where are the people going to come from that takes care of the next generation? Because I know several people that either don't have kids or have just given up. And I have one good friend who spent $40,000 in vitro fertilization, finally has a little boy. Just to have a child. That's insane. But that's what happens when the mitochondria is
affected.
Yeah, is compromised. It's compromised. So what can we do about that? There are three things that we can do that we know of, and that is eat fresh organic food. Don't eat something that's not organic. That's number one. Number two is hydrate your body. I say this in almost every video that I do. Hydrate your body, because the mitochondria has to be able to respirate out materials that it uses up, and mitochondria produces a small fire, if you will, inside of every living cell. That produces oxidative materials. That has to get out of the cell. It has to respirate out of the cell. Cells appear to breathe, just like our lungs appear to breathe. The cells have material going in and coming out through the cell walls all the time. Well, the mitochondria is stuck inside the cells. It's supposed to be. That's where it lives. By the way, it's not connected. It's not genetically related to us. It lives there with us. But the point is, we can't live without it, and it can't live without us. So we want to keep it healthy, because as long as it's healthy, we stay alive. If we lose our mitochondria, we die. So what do? We do the hydration. We do the organic foods. And one of the most important things is we have to exercise. Gravity has absolutely been proven. You don't have to sit on the couch and hope it doesn't float away. You can get up and actually move, and it'll be there when you come back. I know there are people who are gamers who don't believe that, but that's true. So, in all seriousness, move your butt. You get out there and move, because if you want healthy mitochondria, you have to have healthy cells. You want healthy cells, you have to move. That moves the blood. It moves the lymphatic fluids in the system. It helps take out the garbage. It helps invigorate the body. You want healthy mitochondria? Move, hydrate, and eat good food. Those are three that I can think of that are probably the most important right now. You have anything else you want to add?
You mentioned exercise. Do you think increasing your exercise routine, or the amount of exercise you do, increases your ATP production?
I do, if it's not in excess. You take people who go to the gym for 2 or 3 hours every day, that's detrimental. They won't believe that, but I met a man yesterday who is suffering physically because he goes to the gym in almost a fetish style. He has to go to the gym all the time, but he's breaking down because he goes to the gym. His body hurts, and he does stuff that hurts his body, but he won't give up the gym. He's a gym guy. Well, and he's not supplementing his mitochondria. He has to do that, because when you put that kind of stress on your body, you're burning up your mitochondria and you're mutating it, and you could actually reduce mitochondria to a point where maybe there's not enough mitochondria in your heart and you have a heart attack. Here you are, a normal person, and you drop. There's a lot of marathon runners, top condition. All of a sudden, well, I don't know what was wrong. He just dropped dead. Well, maybe it's because he had the mitochondria of a 95-year-old. He'd used it all up in his effort to do several marathons a year and never replace the mitochondria. That's a fast way to end it all really quick. You got to wake up and realize mitochondria keeps you alive. And if you don't have enough of it, you don't take good care of it, you get old and you die. We all get old and we die. Why get old sooner and die sooner? I certainly don't want to.
Interesting.
You have any other comments on that?
No, it seems pretty straightforward. So pretty much make sure you're taking care of your body.
You do. You have to. You need to find a method to supplement mitochondria. You're not going to find it with food. You will find it with products like Time Challenger's Mitochondrial Support. That's a product that's designed for replacing the food that is not available and giving mitochondria a boost, because mitochondria is hungry. Let me tell you, these guys are hungry for the right kind of material. And we're losing mitochondria faster now in this generation, in this group of people from the last 30 years. We're losing mitochondria faster than any people in history. That's why we can't reproduce properly anymore. And that's why young people, you hear young people are playing football and all of a sudden they drop dead. Why? They were healthy. They didn't even have a heart condition, but they dropped dead. There's things going on. And if you don't take care of that mitochondria, you can be 25 years old and have problems. So here we are. Start looking into it. It's important. So that is our discussion on 3 ways that you can improve. You can keep it healthy. And David and I are always looking to answer those questions that you have, do the very best that we can. If you like what we do, please hit the like button. Even better, subscribe. And we've got several hundred videos that we have done, and we produce video every single day. So it's a passion of ours. Hit the like button or subscribe, and until next time, be well.
Be well.